Okay, this lesson is about multiplying polynomials, but before we can multiply polynomials, we have to review a couple of concepts. So the first thing we need to review is what happens if I multiply x times x. What do I get when I do x times x? Well, x times x means x squared. Okay, x to the second power. If I do x times x times x, that means x to the third power. So this exponent right here tells me how many x's are here in my multiplication line. Okay? So if I had x squared times x to the fourth power, that means x times x, and then here x times x times x times x, which means that I have 2 x's here and 4 x's here, or I have x to the sixth power. For today, though, we really only care about x squared and maybe sometimes x to the third power. Okay, so x times x is x squared, and x times x times x is x to the third power. The other thing we need to remember is back in the day when we were multiplying and we were finding area. So what number would go inside the box here? Well, this is the area of this, which would be 2 times 4, which is 8. Okay? We could have something a little bit more complicated. Maybe we would have a 2 here and an x plus 4 here. Well, that would just mean that I would split this box into 2 boxes, and I would do 2 times x, which would be 2x, and 2 times 4, which would be 8. Okay? So this is called multiplying using the box method. And you might have done this a little bit more complicated in biology. So you might have done a box like this. Maybe I had x plus 2 and x plus 6. And so you would do x times x, which we talked about up here was x squared. So we would say this box is x squared. This box is x times 6, which is 6x. This box is 2 times x, or 2x. And this box is 2 times 6, or 12. And then when you're done, you're going to put together things that are exactly the same. So in this first box, it's 2x plus 6x, which is 8x. Does that make sense? 6x is here, 2x is here, 8x's. I cannot put my x squared with it because x squared has an exponent of 2. So this answer would be x squared plus 8x plus 12. Okay? So that's just finding area. So that's what we're talking about here when we talk about multiplying polynomials. A polynomial is just basically anything that has, any expression that has terms. Poly means many and nomials means numbers. So they're just basically saying many numbers or many terms. In example 1 and 2, I want to talk about how you would do the box method. Okay? So it says, step 1, determine how many terms are in each factor. So in example 1, there's 1 term here, and there's 2 terms inside the parentheses. So you'll draw a box, and you're going to put the numbers on the outside of the box. So we say 3x, and then we say 6x plus 5. Typically I put the outside of the parentheses here, and then this parentheses here. And just like I did on this problem, I'm going to split it up. Where is it? I'm going to split it up everywhere I see a plus or minus sign by the terms. Okay? So this one has 2 terms, so I'm going to split it up right there. And then you just multiply the outside. 3x times 6x is 18x squared. Okay? And then you do 3x times 5, which is 15x. Alright, once you're done, you just combine your like terms. Can I put anything together inside the box here? No, because this one's x squared, this one's plain x. So this is just 18x squared plus 15x, and that's my final answer. Okay? In example 2, it's slightly different than example 1 because it has 2 terms here and 2 terms here. We can still do exactly like this, but instead of only having one thing, we're going to have another row down underneath it. So we're going to draw a little bit bigger of a box, and we're going to say 2x plus 5. So notice how I split it up here. The first one is the top, and the second one is the bottom. And we're going to cut this in half. And then on top of this one, we'll say 3x minus 1. And we're going to split this in half. Notice how I made sure the negative 1 was over here on this top column. Excuse me. Now we're going to multiply. 2x times 3x is 6x squared. 5 times 3x is 15x. 2x times negative 1 is negative 2x. And then for this box, it's 5 times negative 1, which is negative 6. What I really like about using this box method is that I can find the two terms that are alike, and they're most always going to be right there. So they both have x, so I can put those together. So I would say 15 minus 2 on my calculator, and that equals 13x. So this one is 6x squared plus 13x minus 6. Alright, so these two examples are showing you using the box method. This is not the only method for multiplying. In fact, it can get a little confusing if there's more than two terms. Okay? It still works if there's more than two terms, but it gets really confusing if there's more than that. So I want to talk about what we could do here for the algebra method. Remember how we learned about when we had parentheses we needed to distribute? So for the ones that only have one term on the outside, it might be easier for you to just distribute. So 3x times 6x is 18x squared, and 3x times 5 is 15x. So it's a little bit faster if you only have one term on the outside than drawing this big old box and trying to figure it out. Okay? Now both ways get you the right answer, so it doesn't matter which way you pick. Okay? They're both going to get you the right answer. Alright, let's look at example 2. Now let's just look at the box. We took the 2x and we multiplied it by 3x and we multiplied it by negative 1. Let's draw arrows on top of example 2 to show that. We took the 2x, we multiplied it by 3x, and we multiplied it by negative 1. What did we get? 2x times 3x is 6x squared. 2x times negative 1 is negative 2x. That's not all we did, though. We also took the 5 and multiplied it by 3x, and the 5 and multiplied it by negative 1. We can draw arrows to show that as well. 5 times 3x and 5 times negative 1. 5 times 3x was 15x, and 5 times negative 1 is negative 5. Okay? So what we did here was we double distributed. We distributed the 2 on both of them, and then we distributed the 5 on both of them. Okay? Now we're going to combine our like terms, so these 2 in the middle, and that gets you the same number, which is 15 and minus 2. So 6x squared plus 13x minus 6. Oh my gosh, not 6, 5. I messed up here too, didn't I? 5 times 1 is 5. So we have to put negative 5 right here. Sorry. Why did I put a 6? Negative 5. Okay, so make sure you fix that up here at the top too. Make sure that says negative 5. Alright, so let's talk about these examples on the inside. You ready? If there's only one term, the easiest way to get your answer is to just distribute that one term. 8x times x is 8x squared. And then 8x times 4 is 8 times 4, which is 32x. Don't forget it's 8x times 4, so we have only one x here. Okay? This is x squared because it's x times x. Okay? The distribution method works on number 4 exactly the same way, but there's 3 terms on the inside. so we're going to multiply 3 times. 5x times 2x squared. Okay, a little bit confusing, but we can do this. 5 times 2 is 10, and then x times x squared. How many x's would there be? There would be 3. So x to the 3rd power. Okay? Now we're going to do 5x times negative 10x. So that's 5 times negative 10, which is negative 50, and x times x, which is x squared. Lastly, we're going to do 5 times 22. 5 times 22. That's 110. And it's positive, right? And there's only one x. Okay, 5x times 22 is 110x. There's only one x on the end. Okay? And that's my answer for this one. Alright. Example 5 has 2 different distribution problems because there's a minus sign in between them. So we're just going to do the same thing we've been doing all year long with the distributive property. We will do the first one. 2x times 6x, which is 12x squared. 6 times 2 is 12. X times x is x squared. 2x times 7. 2 times 7 is 14. X times nothing is just plain old x. Okay? Now we're going to do the second one. So we'll cover up the first one, and we're going to multiply. Negative 3 times 6x, that's negative 3 times 6, negative 18. Only one x is there. And then negative 3 times 7. Negative 3 times 7, negative 21. Now we've got to combine our like terms. So I can put together 14x and negative 18x. And if I do 14 minus 18 on my calculator, what do you get? Negative 4. So this is 12x squared minus 4x minus 21. Okay? Alright. Example 6 has the 2 terms on the outside. So I prefer the box method when there's 2 terms here and 2 terms here. If you do not prefer that method, you're welcome to try it without the box method. I prefer the box method for this one. So here we go. We have 2 terms and 2 terms, so that means we're going to have 4 places in our box, right? 4 different things to multiply. 2x plus 4 goes here, and 3x minus 1 goes there. Now remember, negative 1. You're going to keep the negative with your 1. Okay? So now we just multiply. 2x times 3x. So 2 times 3 is that 6. And then x times x is x squared. 2x times 1, negative 1. 2 times negative 1 is negative 2. Keep the x. 4 times 3x, that's 12, and then keep the x. And 4 times negative 1, which is negative 4. Now we're going to put together our like terms. They almost always fall there if you write everything in the same order every time. So 12x minus 2x is 10x. So my answer is 6x squared. What kind of 10x is this, positive or negative? It's positive. So positive 10x, now it's a plus sign, and then negative 4. Now that's a minus sign. And that's your final answer. Okay? Alright. Number 7. Same thing, we've got 2 terms times 2 terms. We call this a binomial. So we're going to draw a box. And we're going to say 2 terms for the first one, so 2x minus 4. And then we're going to say 2 terms for the second one, x minus 7. Now you just multiply. 2x times x is 2x squared. 2x times negative 7 is negative 14x. Negative 4 times x is negative 4x. And negative 4 times negative 7 is positive 28. So just like in science, you do everything. So start with the 2. And it might help you if you just covered up the bottom. Some people need to do that, which is very helpful. So 2x times x and 2x times negative 7. And then you're going to cover up this part. So you might have to rewrite your x minus 7 up there. You might write it down here and go that times that and that times that. Whatever it takes to help you get it right, okay? Now we're going to combine our like terms. Negative 4 and negative 14 make what? Negative 18x. So it's 2x squared minus 18x plus 28. Okay? All right. For those of you who like the double distribution method better, I'm going to show one example like that. So let's see number 8. First, I'm going to multiply my x times 2x and my x times 7. So x times 2x is going to be 2x squared. X times 7 is going to be 7x, and it's positive, so I put a plus sign. Now I'm going to multiply negative 6 times 2x and negative 6 times 7. Negative 6 times 2x is negative 12x. Negative 6 times 7 is negative 42. Now we combine our like terms. 7x minus 12x, that's negative 5x. So we get, I was just going to write it out, but so this is negative 5x, so this is 2x squared, and then this negative really turns into a subtraction sign, minus 42. Okay? Double distribution method again on number 9. Just might be a little bit easier. So we're going to take this 2x and we're going to multiply it by x squared, 3x, and also 8. We're going to do it by 3 numbers this time. 2x times x squared is 2, and how many x's do I have? 3. 2x times 3x is 2 times 3, which is 6. It's positive 6. And how many x's do I have? 2. 2x times 8 is 16. And then only 1x. We're not done. We've only done the 2x. So now we need to do the 3. It's a positive 3 times x squared times 3x and times 8. Positive 3x squared. Positive 3 times 3x is positive 9x. Positive 3 times 8 is positive 24. Now you combine your like terms. I see I can put 6x squared together with 3x squared to get 9x squared. I can put 16x together with 9x to get 25x. And 2x cubed and 24. 2x cubed will go at the beginning. 24 will go at the end. This one was a little bit more challenging, but once again it follows the same rule. Take the first number, multiply it by everything. Take the second number, multiply it by everything. The last problem that I want to look at is number 10. It has a squared on the outside. Remember that squared, it just means whatever it is 2 times, right? X squared just means x times x. Y squared just means y times y. So this is x minus 2 squared, so that just means write it twice. Okay? So this is just x minus 2 times x minus 2. Now you can use whatever method you would like to use. I'm going to use the box method. It's my favorite because I feel like it organizes everything for me. So this is x minus 2. This is x minus 2. And I'm going to go ahead and multiply. So x times x is x squared. X times negative 2 is negative 2x. Now I'm going to do the bottom. Now remember how I showed you you could cover up the bottom part and just multiply like you did? And then if you wanted to copy it down at the bottom, you could. And so that way you could cover up the top and do the same type of multiplying. Negative 2 times x is negative 2x. Negative 2 times negative 2 is positive 4. Okay? Now I'm going to combine my like terms. If you line them up right, they're always here in these two spots because they both have x's. Negative 2 and negative 2 together, negative 2 minus negative 2, negative 2 minus 2 is negative 4. So we have x squared minus 4x plus 4. Okay. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.